JBNN will keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones. Hi guys, welcome back. It's time for the week that was, as we look back at the major stories of the week, January 22 to 28. Sonny Hewitt dies following fall at a hotel in Montego Bay. The Barney Street Police in Montego Bay, St. James, are investigating a case in which a woman fell to her death from the third floor of a hotel on Sunday. She has been identified as Sonny Hewitt, 25, of Johns Hall, Clarendon. She is said to be a call center agent who resided in the corporate area. A well-placed security source said that Hewitt celebrated her birthday with friends in Kingston on the weekend, but drove to Montego Bay on Saturday night to meet up with a male companion. She arrived in the early hours of Sunday morning and went to a popular party spot along Jimmy Cliff Boulevard with the man. About 4 a.m., they then traveled to Hotel Grand View and checked into a room which they had earlier booked. About an hour later, employees were alerted to a loud crash and then stumbled upon Hewitt's body. An alarm was raised and Hewitt, who sustained head and body injuries, was rushed to hospital where she was pronounced dead. Now the source went on to say, "We have no reason to believe that the woman may have jumped from the balcony to her death. We have questioned her male companion, and based on evidence we got from the location, we have ruled out foul play for now, but we are still investigating." The source said that after being questioned, the man related that he and Hewitt had fallen asleep, and after he woke up, she was nowhere to be found. He would have called her cell phone, which rang inside the room, and after seeing that the door was partially opened, he went back to sleep, thinking that Hewitt was getting a breath of fresh air. He would have called her cell phone, which rang inside the room, and after seeing that the door was partially opened, he went back to sleep, thinking that Hewitt was getting a breath of fresh air. The source opinion that based on how the balcony is constructed, an individual would have to climb it in order to go over. Head of the police's corporate communications unit, Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, said that based on the reports she received, Hewitt was at the hotel with her companion. She left the room during the night, went walking along a corridor about 5:46 a.m. and apparently fell. Hewitt died while undergoing treatment about 10:41 a.m. Lindsay said based on reports, there was no sign of a tussle. Well guys, more questions and answers. As soon as I heard this story, my mind flashed right back to Roshane Patterson Slickiana. She left Kingston to meet up with Roshane. She ended up dead. This young lady left Kingston to meet up with this young man on her birthday. She ended up dead. I'm not saying that he is guilty, because I wasn't there and the police are saying that her death has been ruled death by misadventure, because they're saying that she fell over the balcony. But a source is saying that in order for her to go over the balcony, she would have to climb up to go over. So how did she get over? The young man said that they both went to bed. After they went to a popular party spot, they both went to bed, and then he woke up and she wasn't there. He called the phone was beside him. He saw the door opened. No, I don't know if these men nowadays really care about women. Was it a one-night stand? What was this? That you are there with this young lady. She's not in the bed beside you. The door is open. So many things would have happened. And you just go back to sleep. You didn't even get up to go check on her to find out if she was okay. You just went back to sleep. No, sir. Chivalry really dead. Something wrong. So there are a whole heap of questions in regards to how this young lady died. Beautiful young lady. Very young. Just celebrating her birthday. And she's now dead. But what happened? How did she go over the balcony? Her friends are saying that she was pushed. Will evidence ever surface to say that she was actually pushed? Or this is just, as they say, death by misadventure? But sometimes we have to be careful, women. We have to be careful of the men that we are meeting up with online, and they were going to hook up with them. I don't know if this is what happened in this case. But just recently I heard a story where a young man was more or less talking, bragging, confessing. I don't know what he was doing. But it's like he hooked up with this young lady and they went to a hotel in Montego Bay. Now while at the hotel, he wanted some action and the lady was not interested. The young lady was not interested. So he said that he paid the bartender to spike her drink. No, I don't know how low you can get. How much lower can a young man get? That if somebody don't want to give you some action, you decide, say, no matter what, me I pay for the hotel, so me I forget it. Ladies, if you know, so you're not going to let off, turn your yard. If I look a ton camel, you have eat it, bless it, and go your bed. Because some of us as women, we think so we can trick man, and we can't trick man. And everybody take a style, you know. Some man take a style and some man don't take a style. No, I'm not saying that this is what happened in this situation, but I'm just talking generally. We have to be careful. We have to be alert. We have to know what is happening around us. So he spiked the young lady drink because, of course, she never want to let off. And I realize that everybody nowadays is in Mali. Ladies, we have to be careful. We have to check our crowd. Check the persons that we are hooking up with. Because I don't see how this young lady could have traveled all the way from Kingston to go to Montego Bay to hook up with this young man. And he wake up and realize that she not there beside him. And the man said, me just go back to sleep. No look at caring of this world, look at concern. Because obviously he was not in love with her. Because if you love somebody and the person is not beside you, your first thing is, Lord have mercy, I wonder what happened to him. I wonder what happened to her. And you get up out of your bed and go check. He did not go to check and he went back to sleep. And the next thing you know was that workers heard a loud bang, a loud sound. And when they went, the young lady was on the ground with serious injuries. She didn't make it. Let us hope that if she was pushed, that the family can get some form of answers and some form of closure. Because I know family members and friends have a whole heap of questions in regard to this incident. But women, we have to be careful. We really and truly have to be careful. DJ Franko of Mellow FM has died. The media fraternity and listeners of Mellow FM are presently in mourning following the death of popular Western Jamaica radio jockey Courtney Francis, more popularly known as DJ Franko from Mellow FM, who was found dead in St. Catherine on Monday morning. Francis was also an ex-policeman who had been assigned to the Savlamar police station as a detective corporal. He worked at Mellow FM hosting Mellow Overdose on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the evening mix on Fridays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. A statement on the radio station's Facebook page said, Chief Executive Officer of Mellow FM, Al Robinson, described Francis as being among the best. According to him, Francis had a commanding voice and a presence on the radio station, which not everybody on radio has. The management and staff of Mellow FM has extended deepest sympathies to Francis's family. I don't know about you guys, but I always listen to DJ Franko on Saturdays. Franko had this laugh that was contagious. I mean, as I said, but one thing I said, but boys, Franko always don't like him drunk. You know, I've always said that, but it was a joy and a pleasure listening to him on Saturdays. That was the only time I got to listen to him. Saturdays when I'm on the road, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. My radio is always on Mellow FM. I've never listened to him on a Friday. I've never gotten the chance to listen to him on a Friday. But most times on Saturdays, if not all the times on Saturdays, when I'm on the road, I'm always listening to Mellow FM and Franko. And people calling him Franko and I tell Franko to big up himself and all of that. But they said that Franko was ailing for some time. So at this time, all of us at JBNN just take this opportunity to say, what good brother? You run the race. Sleep on. Condolences to all his family members, colleagues, and friends. Moving on to the next story. Government to increase mandatory minimum sentence for murder. Justice Minister Delroy Chalk says the government is moving to amend the Offences of the Persons Act to increase the mandatory minimum sentence for murder from 15 to 45 years. In a statement in Parliament, Chalk said legislation will be tabled shortly to address this issue. Chalk said the plan is to increase the mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole from 20 years to 50 years. For non-capital murder, where the sentence given was life imprisonment, increase the mandatory minimum sentence to be served before being eligible for parole from 15 years to 40 years. He lamented that the government and the public at large are extremely concerned about the levels of murder across Jamaica. He also bemoaned Jamaica's murder rate, noting that 1,498 homicides were recorded in 2022, representing a 2% increase over the corresponding period in 2021. So the Honourable Minister wants to implement harsher penalties for murderers. So of course now, if a person commits a murder, they want to move the mandatory minimum sentence from 15 years to 45 years. I'm liking the sound of that. And I know you're all liking the sound of that. Because too much bloodshed, too much mayhem, too much madness are going on in this place. When man kill people and I get 12 years. 12 years! And I come back out after 10. You can imagine the value of somebody's life? No, the judiciary is not in agreement with this. Because they're saying that they are capable enough to pronounce the correct sentence. I want the sentencing to remain as is. And it can't work. Because sometimes I wonder what some of them lawyers smoke, some of them judges they smoke. When you hear the sentences that are handed down to criminals. Madness. So guys, I hope that when this legislation is passed, that the new prison would have been completed. The Prime Minister says that money has already been allocated, land has been found for the construction of the new prison. And as I said, it should be a state-of-the-art prison. No cell phones can be used inside there. Me always hear enough posts of a prison. So I figure said, I've got to post them now if you send out message to people. But something needs to be done. However, members of the judiciary are not pleased. And of course, Jamaicans of justice are peeved about the new legislation that the government is trying to put in place. Because they're saying that the decision should be left to the discretion of the courts. Can you imagine? I don't know in a wish bubble and living now. But if it is left up to the judges, criminals just continue to get a slap on the wrist sentence and in no time they come back out. The criminals and come back out going to do the same thing. 12 years is somebody's life. Can you imagine 10 years is somebody's life? I'm liking what I'm hearing. I like the direction that the government is going in regards to this. Now, Jamaicans of Justice, Michael Jackson, is saying that while the organization is not opposed to the government reviewing sentencing guidelines, it is wary of what it views as a trend towards increasing minimum sentences. You can imagine, I don't know his wish bubble she living now. She's asking whether it is a case where the Prime Minister has lost confidence in the court's ability to put forward what they believe fits the circumstances of the case. I think we're setting a dangerous precedent if it is that's a signal we're sending unintentionally or not. Can you imagine? As far as I'm concerned, a life imprisonment. Some of them not even for Sibak Road. Because I want them build somewhere not even road in us, not even vehicle in the ear. Make it come like a solitary confinement. Destroying families. Children have to grow up without them father, without them mother. Grow up and suffer. Because them parents were hardworking people who used to provide for them. And JFJ want these people to continue to get a slap on the wrist. Lawyers want them to get a slap on the wrist. Can you imagine? Because of course, with this type of sentencing now, a lot of people won't even bother appeal. The mothers go and go serve their long sentence and come out. So lawyers are not happy. Because of course now, food are going to get back out of their mouth. But who cares about them? When so many of us are dying at the hands of gunmen, so many families are being destroyed at the hands of gunmen. Mr. Prime Minister and your ministers, hats off to you. We are looking forward to the day when this legislation is passed in Parliament. When it is out of the judge's hands. Because the minimum is the minimum. The minimum sentence. From 15 to 45 years. I'm liking that. So no more 15 years, but 45 years. So even if you're 20, you're looking out to come out at 65. And I'm liking this. So we anticipate, just like how they put in the one for the firearms, we anticipate this legislation being passed and things start to look up better for Jamaica. Because you're saying that it is not a deterrent to criminals, but let us watch and see if it is going to be a deterrent or not. Whether it's going to be a deterrent or not, something has to be done. And this is a start. This is a good start. And I applaud the PM and his ministers for this move. Yes, guys. And of course, the story continues. The biggest story of the week continues from last week. Usain Bolt and SSL, Gin and Panton. Most of the money in Usain Bolt's account at SSL was withdrawn by 2018. I don't even know if I should really actually go back into this again, because I have been exhausted throughout the course of this week in regards to this story. So many things are unraveling and yet nothing is unraveling. Gin and Panton is supposed to be arrested shortly. It still has not happened. And when we look at the young lady Kadeen from NCB, as soon as they find the money, boop brap, she gone into custody. The Sagicor girls, boop brap, they gone into custody. That young man also from NCB. But here comes, I don't know what kind of secret Gene have for some people, But Gene seems to have a really work on a secret bag. A bag full of secrets. Where so many things have been pointing so many things have been pointing in her direction. And Jean still that road. So till Jean now have wheelchair and walker, I walk running a cracks. So I know most of you are invested in this story as I am, and you are keeping up to date. So we don't even have to go back through this again. But Bolt's company, Wellgen, which is named after the mother and the father, that was the name of the account that was at SSL. And it was opened in 2012, April 25 to be exact. Company registered in St. Lucia, because I realized that there are a lot of Jamaicans who have companies in St. Lucia, including our dear Prime Minister. He also has a company in St. Lucia that was named after his boys. So a whole heap of people have some money because of tax reasons. Them open them companies here, the limited liability companies in St. Lucia and other Caribbean islands to avoid taxes. So Bolt's company, Wellgen, was open. That was where the money was going into. But they have said that the money that went into his account was coming out somewhere between 2012 and 2018. So all this time, poor Mr. Bolt, I get fictitious statements. Because as Jean Panton said, she created fictitious statements, which was giving the investors an amount that would show where their account should be at. But nobody's account was at that place, because most of the money had been taken out, or all of the money were taken out of the accounts. So yesterday, Bolt came out and declared, because some people were saying that he's broke, that he's not broke. And then he came out to make a big revelation in regards to Norman Peart, his business manager, who said that they had left on amicable terms in 2022, and Bolt has now come out to say that not like that. I fire if I am. Now, Norman Peart was interviewed by fraud squad detectives because his name has appeared on emails that were sent to Jean Panton for withdrawals to be done. Now, he has come out to deny that is not his signature. That is not signature, but those were not emails that were sent from him. Everybody knows something about computer will understand that if the emails were sent from Norman Peart, you couldn't deny from now till next year, his IP address will show that yes, this is where it came from. So we are still hearing a whole lot of things in regards to SSL fraud, to Bolt and the 39 other investors, but we're still not hearing anything. We're just hearing little pieces of snippets of this and snippets of that. Sources coming out to say this and sources coming out to say that. Because it was also said that Norman Peart, allegedly, had sent an email for an internal cash transfer of $50,749.19, and we're talking about US dollars, or approximately 9 million Jamaican dollars, from Wellgen's account to his account. Now, in the list that Jean Panton had sent out of all the persons that she had defrauded, Norman Peart's name was also on that list. He was also defrauded by Jean Panton. So, what are questions? And I hope sooner or later we can get some answers. Not only for Usain Bolt, but for all the other investors. That for the elderly people who had put down the money for their retirement. For the not so elderly people who had put it down for them children and for them children college fees. We're hoping that sooner or later we can get some information about this. Because Norman Peart has allegedly been implicated along with Jean Panton in regards to the missing money from Usain Bolt's account. Now a lot of people are upset that are saying that, listen, what to the other people Yes, we understand that there are other people. But if it wasn't for Usain Bolt's money coming up missing, they're going to sweep it under the rug just like everything else. But because of the attention, especially from not just us, but international media, them can't just leave it like that. So out of every bad thing, something good come out, because if Usain did get back all of his money, all of the other people wouldn't hear anything about them. So right now, SSL want to close down the company. Close it down. So they apply to the company's office to close SSL. If you move on, and if people them at all the bag, people them money, people them invest their money and they want to close down and shut down shop and move on as if it's just another day, nothing happened. But lucky enough, the FSC got wind of it and applied to the court, and the court said no way it can't work. Because their money just keep and open up some shell companies right around the place. and just collect people money and just close it down and move on. Because if they had closed the company, everybody goes cook, you know. Everybody goes cook. So as I said, there are so many different questions in regards to this fraud. And one of the biggest questions is, why is Gina Panton still walking around as if she's a normal citizen, normal Jamaican? Why is she walking around when everybody else who have defrauded people were arrested immediately as soon as it was found out? And remember, these persons who have defrauded come nowhere near to where they must say Gina Panton has defrauded. Because even though people are saying, listen, there's no way she could have taken that amount of money. Yes, she never takes so much money, but she still take enough money. Even if she didn't take the equivalent of 2 billion Jamaican dollars. Look at the people in my account, the amount of money that she has taken from them. Some people were wiped out. So even if I know she alone, she's still responsible for a whole lot of it. And she's still walking around free as a bird. So we're hoping that in this coming week, that news will surface that Gina Panton has been arrested, first of all. And whoever our co-conspirators are, they have also been arrested. Because I'm wondering if the police just wait and they don't want to arrest she alone, but they want to carry the whole bag of them. But regardless, something needs to be done, and done not today, but from last week. So I'll continue to keep you updated. It weird me out because trust me, it's a whole heap of work. But I'll continue to keep you updated with the SSL fraud saga. And moving on. Man charged with killing relative in Manchester over land. A Manchester man has been charged for the murder of his mother, who was visiting the island from England just a week ago in the Miketown community in the parish. The police say 38-year-old carpenter Lemon Brown of Love Lane in Miketown was arrested on Thursday with the murder of 48-year-old Michael Brown, otherwise called Jimmy. Reports from the Mandeville police are that about 12:20 a.m. on January 19, the deceased was at home when he was pounced upon by a lone gunman who opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper body. The police were summoned and was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The deceased is said to have been in Jamaica for his mother's funeral. The police have revealed that other persons of interest are expected to be brought in for questioning as the matter progresses. Now somebody came out to correct me and say that it is Lemon is not his brother, but his cousin. But according to the police, because this is a report that came from the police, Lemon is his brother. So somebody, if you know the family, is it the brother or is it the cousin? But regardless of a brother or cousin, our blood a kill blood over land. 5 houses, as the police had said earlier, on the land. And this dispute has been stemming from 2015. We know in 2023, 8-year-old dispute. Jimmy's mother is dead. She never carried on with her. No Jimmy dead, and Jimmy not carried on with him. And this cousin or brother that has been arrested, or got jail, got prison, still not carrying on with him. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Too many times, family members are killing off each other over something they can't care with them. Mr. Deadlift are one of the worst thing somebody can ever call a name pan. Especially when you're not an only child. Deadlift because you always have some dirty family member. But decide say, it too good for your getty, and them want it. So the young man fly down for bury him mother. I don't know what happened. But as me say, me sorry say him never does board a taxi. As incident say ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Don't even wait and say, Mama, me love you, but me a live. Me say the old time fable rings so true. Mama have, father have, but blessed is the child will have him own. Because when you have your own, nobody have no talk. So one more time now. This I wanna kill, this I wanna overland. Oh God, prison. For what reason? Me have to ask Lemon. Lemon, was it worth it? And all the other persons that are fighting over it. We don't need to seize. Top. Until more bloodshed and then you will on the dead off and then stranger come in or can't take it. Oh God, man, enough of this man. Too much of this man, too much bad mind in a way. And boy, me tell you, me don't know how some of bad minds so. Oh boy, let me move on here. 2022 gun haul in Montego Bay. The police have revealed details about the seizure of a large shipment of firearms at the Seaboard Warehouse in Montego Bay, St. James on Friday. According to the CCU, the shipment included 22 Glock pistols, 1 Cobra ENT .380 pistol loaded with a magazine containing 5.380 cartridges, 1 Glock magazine containing 13 9mm cartridges, and 1 Glock 19 barrel. According to reports, about 3:30 p.m., a customs enforcement team observed anomalies with a package and handed it over to a police team. Closer inspections revealed that the package contained the cache of firearms. One more time. Talking to them people overseas. Oh no, say cheaper for a pack of boiled rice and flour. And them something they can go to loved ones. I'll send some clothes and so no go to look at hustling. But no. Una send down gun for them take you for wipe out each other. Can you imagine? I hope the police get a breakthrough soon, not only for the one who's supposed to pick up a barrel, but the one who will send the barrel. And Uncle Sam deal with him up there. And deal with him hard. Enough of this, man. Send down some barrel with food. Send down some barrel with clothes. Send down some barrel with listen, I send down a barrel of sweetie. Go to school gate, go drug some sweetie. Because the Jamaican people them don't know them sweetie and them sweetie I will sell. And start life. Build something more tight. But no, they don't have time to do that. Everybody want to be called a Don. And in order to be called a Don, you have to be sending down guns and money. If you kill off people because you're all on the turf. You know what is the worst thing even about this? Some of them can't even come back down here. Their foot can't touch back Jamaica soil. None at all. But yet still you send down gun. Because even though you can't come down, you still want to be rated as a Don. Seriously? What makes sense? We are getting out of this. Just to go party, go so boss NSC and all them something there and send down your footage just say, listen, this is me up here or me a flash. But you can't touch back out here. Because if you touch back out here, man, I'm going to blow off your head. Too much. But this is a good start to 2023. 22 gun haul. You know how much lives that? Even the same people who must say they come here go fight over it. The only bad thing is that the other people are going dead, because if that was the case and they'll fight each other over it and kill off them one another, then the police could make it go on. But other people are going to die, and a lot of times some of us that die are innocent. Can't catch Kwako, get him shot. But hats off to customs and the police. Excellent job. And may God continue to bless them and protect them. Because you have some people in our customs, they're not easy. So may they be protected. May they be protected throughout the year 2023 so that they can continue. We know, so this is just, some people are going to say, yeah, but look how much come true. Yes, some will come true. But 22 are still, them still stop 22. So we give thanks to the 22 because there are 22 more guns upon the street. So yes, more come true. But if it was 78, then they send true. And the 22 come now, they make 100. So it's still only 78 out there. So we just have to give thanks. And say kudos to them. I want to continue to work hard. Because I know that some of you are honest. Not all of you are. But some of you that work in customs and in the police are honest people. Who mean Jamaicans well. So continue to hold up on your head. And continue to do the very best that you can for all of us. Enough love and blessings. So guys, that is it for this week. And that's me, I still on hold on the head. Keep on the head down. Walk good. Enough love, respect and blessing. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your words of encouragement. Thanks for your love. Thanks for your appreciation. JBN, we keep you informed. Remember, like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Blessings and love. It's a girl MJ.